All right, welcome back to the quick little news of the day video here for you guys. Emphasis on quick, as this is going to be one of my shorter videos as opposed to the one that I made yesterday, which was my longest video I ever recorded. If you haven't checked that out, I essentially went through all 48 teams that took place in the upper division in this past tour and graded them based on how well they played in comparison to the expectations that we had on the team heading into this first tour. So again, if you're at all curious about checking that out, link in description, or you'll see it at the end of this video. I talked about pretty much every single team in that video on the DPC in that video for about a minute. So obviously you don't have to watch the whole thing if you just want to skip around, watch your favorite teams. All cool, but I just thought I would let you guys know, as I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. All right, getting into the news, which isn't exactly breaking news or anything like that, not as spicy as some of the news that we've had in the past. Pretty slow now that we are starting to get a little bit closer to those regional playoffs coming up. Teams are starting to practice a little bit more, and I feel like once those are done, we'll see a little bit more movement in the roster changes, especially with some of the big names that are being thrown around right now in the free agent pool. There's bound to be some big changes, but we'll see what comes of it. I just realized I put the date wrong. It's not February 3rd. It's February 2nd. Depending on where you are. Where I am, it's still February 2nd. But yeah. All right. Starting things off. A lot of rumors and leaks revolving 23savage the past few days, mainly coming from the Cuckoo stream. There was a leak that Ana was going to be his replacement and that 23savage is going to be more than likely getting let go from T1 due to his temperament. Whether or not that's going to be taking place before the regional playoffs or after, we don't know. These regional playoffs are going to contain DPC points, so maybe making a last-minute roster change for T1 would maybe not be the smartest move, but who knows? If it's something that they're comfortable with, then all the more power to them. But this is not news regarding that. This is news regarding 23savage joining the Ulti Agency, which is a player agency that basically helps players with their stability, their side projects, all that kind of stuff. It's not another team or anything like that. However, it is a company that is based in Europe. Some other players that are affiliated with this company being like Taiga from OG currently. And because it is based in Europe, some people are leading themselves to believe that maybe he's going to be joining a team in Europe. Maybe he's going to be moving regions. Would he play for a team in Europe if there was maybe a bit of a language barrier? I personally don't know the guy personally or know if he's like fluently bilingual or anything like that. So I don't want to throw anything out there or any speculations, but would he be able to play on a team like Team Secret, for example? I'm not saying they get rid of Nisha. Or maybe like Virtus Pro, who did replace their carry player in the offseason with Pure. Maybe they aren't super satisfied with Pure and they bring in 23savage, who has been a phenomenal player this past couple years. He's really come into his own. It's just, again, T1 cannot play with him anymore due to his temperament, which is, again, something that they've been talking about as of late. So yeah, I'm really curious to see where 23savage ends up going. He is a fantastic player. He mentioned in his statement after getting picked up by Ulti Agency that his goal is to join a team, train with them until they are one of the best teams in the world, and then prove himself as one of the best players of all time by winning TI. So this guy is going to be going towards a big team with a lot of potential. I really can't see 23savage stooping to one of the lower tier teams, a team that maybe dropped down to Div 2, like Alliance, who right now aren't necessarily looking for a carry player, but if they were, I don't think 23savage would be joining them. He would be more so looking towards a team like Virtus Pro, like I just talked about, that has that potential to actually win a TI. But yeah, and again, we don't really know anything that's going to be going on with T1 in the next few days. We don't know if it's going to be happening, again, in the next few days or in the next few weeks. But again, rumors surrounding Ana joining are pretty spicy, and I'm excited to see what ends up happening. All right, next little bit of news. Again, not exactly news, something that we may have already known by now, but it has been officially stated by Saksa that he is now officially looking for a team. After getting the boot from OG, which is what it sounded like after TI-10, we didn't know if he was going to get picked up. We didn't know if he was going to be taking some time off. It sounded like he maybe wanted to get picked up, but didn't end up getting enough offers, and so he just took this first tour off. And in that time, he has amounted himself to rank #1 in Europe on the European servers, which is pretty ridiculous. Again, all as a support player. So yeah, he's got a lot of clout behind his name right now, being an ex-member of OG who really improved a lot in his time with OG as well, I might add. And now he's rank 1 in Europe, which again doesn't necessarily mean all that much, but he's been playing fantastic Dota. And again, I was a little surprised that he didn't get picked up before this first tour, but now he's coming back in and he's looking for a new spot. So not a lot of teams right now that are missing position 4s, but maybe teams are going to look to make voluntary changes if it means that they can pick up Saksa. He did mention that he's willing to change regions. we'll see how that goes for him. And last little bit of news here, talking about Bait, who have now ended their near record-breaking losing streak at 21 straight series lost. They are second place only to one other team whose name escapes me currently. It's not a well-known team or anything like that, whose losing streak was at 22 series in a row. However, for them, there were some draws that were kind of splitting all those up, so they were more so just winless, but they did have 22 straight losses, technically, whereas Bait just lost 21 in a row, no draws or anything in between, and they have broken it while playing in the Dota 2 Champions League, D2CL, with a 2-0 win over Ivy. So, yeah, honestly, I'm pretty surprised that the roster has stayed together for this long. I'm hoping that they start a little bit of an upward trajectory. That was a pretty depressing lower division showing from them, where they went 0-7 in that Eastern European first tour. And yeah, they've broken it. And again, they've nearly tied that record for longest losing streak, which was 22 straight losses. And they also have the third longest. So now they have the second and third longest losing streaks of all time. That one coming from a couple years ago at 18 straight losses. So yeah, that stat right there kind of tells you, kind of wraps everything up about just how this organization of Bait has kind of been going ever since it was founded in, what, 2020? So, yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, a little bit of a shorter video today, not a whole lot going on. If you're at all curious about checking out my video from yesterday, where I talked about each and every team in a little bit of depth, talked about each team for just about a minute regarding their past tour versus their expectations and all that kind of stuff, feel free to check that out right next to my face or down in the description. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow with another video.